Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Adrian's Weather Forecast. This is another weather update here, of course, and this is actually an unexpected video. Some of you guys have been recommending me to do another video today or wanting more updates, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do another update. I don't see why not again. So again, we have major updates. We are already starting to see these severe weather bands and cells developing here throughout much of western Oklahoma and northern Texas. Again, we've already seen some severe thunderstorm warnings. We've seen some interesting cells here around here, but not necessarily looking like we have much of any mesocyclone threats right now or any hook echoes. But again, I'm also going to have major updates as well in the severe weather tomorrow and also throughout Thursday. I'm going to be making my own maps tomorrow as well for tomorrow's videos. Or a video. It might be just for one video. On the first video, I'll be making my own maps on my own risk there, but I'll be talking about more details. So if you want to know exactly what I think, exactly who could be seeing the worst risk for severe weather throughout tomorrow and Thursday, be sure to again watch tomorrow's video, and also be sure to subscribe if you are new, especially if you want as many updates on the severe weather as possible. Again, I will be doing multiple videos each day to keep you guys updated. So again, please subscribe. We're not too far from 2,150 subscribers, so it really means a lot. And also, please share the video, if not the channel, to any friends or family that you think will love supporting my channel or that you think would want to know about the severe weather outbreak here potentially throughout the week. But without further ado, let's get in this video. So again, here we are looking at the National Weather Service. We have severe thunderstorm watches throughout the northern parts, just near not far from Amarillo. Again, near Pampa, Dumas, Borger, Perryton, Beaver, Guymon, and Boise City, out there into the western part of Oklahoma. Just those three counties there. And of course, we have the areas near Dalhart, Perryton again, where we again have severe thunderstorm watches, and then we have a severe thunderstorm warning here south of Perryton. Again, I've been looking at radar scope, haven't seen too many interesting really cells or interesting amounts of rotation anywhere, but this one out here could possibly pose a threat maybe, but it doesn't look like we're having any rotation right now. Looks like later today we could be seeing a very good threat for a mesocyclone, so this could be the beginning of this again. Going to be seeing severe weather again throughout continued overnight hours. So large hail up to possibly baseball-sized hail. So again, when I've already looked, we've already seen a half-inch sized hail. So again, as we continue going the overnight hours closer and closer into the around 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that's where we'll possibly see that severe weather really worsening. But again, this is the beginning of it. Again, these bands just started a couple minutes ago. But again, here we are now looking. Let's actually go right here. So again, let me actually see if it's possible if we can actually go back to the one that this radar. So again, as you continue, we're going to be seeing the severe weather continuing on with these smaller bands. Again, they will be very small and again very scattered, but as we continue on overnight hours, they will continue to double size, and we're going to be seeing multiple. But again, definitely very interesting here for that county south of Perryton, and getting closer to the border of Oklahoma. So that will be moving to the Oklahoma border. So in Oklahoma, we can possibly see severe thunderstorm warnings. I'll be keeping a very close eye on the next couple of hours on the radar scope and seeing the velocity, and also looking at the of course radar, and also debris, if we have any debris balls or any potential chances for tornadoes tonight. But again, today the risk is a bit lower, but again, still having that chance for potential tornadoes once we look at the SCP and SCP. So now we're going to be looking at, again, today's outlook. So again, here we have that severe weather, right now happening with these severe weather bands. That's in the level 2 right now. So again, in this level 2, this is where we have this is where our area of focus is. Again, northern Texas, again, much of central and western Oklahoma, just much of Oklahoma itself, and the far southern part of Kansas, like right on the border, and also including the areas of far northeastern New Mexico as well, and even the little tip of Colorado. So technically, Colorado is also in the slight risk. But again, this is our highest risk is a slight risk. Again, not too much really today. Definitely going to be the lowest risk out of today and tomorrow, or today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Obviously, this would be our lowest risk. Again, it doesn't seem like we're going to be seeing too many threats here. Definitely gonna be seeing large hail, especially as one of the threats. That's our highest risk for this area. It's gonna be hail is our main threat, and then tornadoes our second threat, and then also wind is also a very big threat. But again, we have the slight risk again. That's gonna be areas again, much of Oklahoma, and the marginal also gonna be seeing scattered thunderstorms throughout those areas. Again, won't really be seeing the highest risk for what those again what we were seeing. But again, here we have the 2% chance here for tornadoes. Again, I know it says 2% chance, but 2% chance in other words is like maybe a 5 to a 10% chance. Because again, tornado probability is always going to be a lot lower than really in other words. But again, that's going to be for much of western Oklahoma. So near the Oklahoma City area, you guys shouldn't be seeing really a chance for tornadoes. It's going to be more of the western part of the state in northern Texas, and of course that tip of New Mexico there. But mainly the threat's going to be for Oklahoma and Texas if we have any tornadoes, but very unlikely. But again, that threat for supercells developing is a bit on the higher side or the moderate side, so that's the only really reason why we could possibly see tornadoes. Hail threat again, very very high, or not very very high, but quite high, 15% chance again. We've already seen hail report here, and so definitely be seeing a very good chance, really. But again, already seeing hail in northern Texas. Last time I checked, around an hour ago when these bands just started, they were already bringing up to pea-sized hail to nickel-sized hail. But again, we have that 50% chance in the yellow, and then that 5% chance for the green. Again, the green really won't be seeing these bands arriving really today at all. So you guys really won't be seeing much of a hail threat, and then wind threat's quite high as well, or sorry, not quite as high, but quite low again. So yeah, wind threat not as high. But as we get into tomorrow, this is when things get very very interesting here. So again, definitely gonna be seeing the worst of the severe weather right here near the Dallas area, including Tyler, Texas, Texarkana, Louisville, sorry not Louisville, Shreveport areas near Little Rock, also including El Dorado and southwestern Ohio. It looks like the worst of the severe weather tomorrow, in my opinion, will be right here, because you're about to see why. But again, this is where we have up to an enhanced risk, which was updated the last update a couple hours ago. We just had a level 2, but now we are up to a level 3. So back-to-back level 3 risk, and it's very likely that, or not very likely, but there's a possibility that the day 3 outlook for Thursday could possibly extend up to a moderate risk. It's not incredibly likely, but again, it's still possible. There's no doubt. I can't say there's a 100% chance we're going to stay at enhanced risk. There's probably 60% chance staying at enhanced and 40% chance for maybe getting to a moderate. But again, that marginal, again, we have that smaller risk for severe weather. Again, mainly these bands will arrive in the overnight hours for Louisiana and Arkansas. Those bands will arrive later in the day, but will be quite severe. But mainly a threat for Oklahoma and Texas. This area right here is our biggest concern for tomorrow there. So Dallas, very big city like Fort Worth as well. You guys are all in that threat. But again, the slight risk, that's a level 2. It's going to be including, again, many areas into western Mississippi, far western Tennessee, much of Arkansas, much of Oklahoma, all the way up to the Tulsa area and Oklahoma City. Also including many areas all the way to Houston, Alexandria, and Monroe. Again, that's a level 2 now out of a 5. Again, we're going to be seeing quite those bands arriving a bit later today, especially if you're in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. You guys will be seeing those bands coming really in the overnight hours, getting close to Thursday morning. But again, Oklahoma and Texas, maybe parts of western Oklahoma or western Arkansas, those bands will be throughout the day, and they could be quite severe with the overday heating. So the slight risk, and we still have a chance for tornadoes in that slight risk for sure. So definitely need to worry about tornadoes, because we've had multiple tornadoes in the past couple outbreaks and slight risk. So definitely need to watch out a slight, but it's going to be the second highest threat or second highest probability for seeing the large hail, tornadoes, and damaging winds. And then the enhanced risk, we have our biggest threat for severe weather tomorrow. As of right now, again, that's in the orange color where they have the level 3 out of 5. That's where we have our biggest risk for hail and tornadoes as well as damaging winds. So I'm going to be circling this area where we see the worst of severe weather. Really the worst of it actually might be east of Dallas, just east of Dallas. And again, you're about to see why. So this is where I'm circling where I think the worst of it will be tomorrow. You're about to see why. Now if we look at the tornado threat, now if we look at the tornado threat, again, here it is at the 10% chance. Again, I know we have multiple areas in that 10% chance, but right here, just east of Dallas, I think that's where we have a very, very good threat for a tornado. That's going to be coming in hand for tomorrow's maps. But again, we have a 2 to a 10% chance, of course, in the areas that we've seen tornadoes last Sunday and also Easter. Most of those areas are in the 2% chance, like Shreveport, in the 5% chance, like Shreveport, Monroe areas, and again into the western Mississippi area, and also eastern Texas. Those areas that have seen tornadoes in the past couple of weeks, they are under a 5% chance, which is the second highest risk. Again, a 5% chance still brings a very good chance for tornadoes. So definitely you can't rule that out just because you have a 5% chance. So definitely need to be on the lookout, even if you're in the 2% chance as well, because you still have a risk for tornadoes. But of course, in the highest risk, that's going to be a 10% chance. That's going to be including Dallas, Fort Worth, right on that borderline, including much, again, also southeastern Oklahoma. So southeastern Oklahoma and also northeastern Texas looks like they have the very good risk for severe weather with the highest risk for tornadoes. Hail threats also at a very high 30% chance for hail. If this does go up, there's a chance for a moderate risk to be extended, but we will also need that tornado risk to go up. And I don't think necessarily we will have a moderate risk for tomorrow for the Texas area and Oklahoma. But again, it's still possible, but I'm just saying it's unlikely. But again, it's still possible. So again, we have a 30% chance for hail. I think it should actually be at the 45% chance. We're going to be seeing very large hail, up to baseball-sized hail. Maybe even if we have those really strong rotation and defined echoes, we will be seeing, of course, possibly even softball-sized hail. So again, 30% chance that's going to be including Dallas, Fort Worth, and much of southeastern Oklahoma there, not far from Tyler. And then we have that 50% chance stretching all the way, of course, into the Mississippi area. And then the wind threat also going to be a bit on the higher side as well with a 30% chance. This could also possibly go up because the wind shear will be setting in place a lot later this week, which will be around tomorrow when we start to see that wind shear come in place. So seeing that threat for winds. Now the day 3, of course, for Thursday. This is not updated at all. Again, we're still seeing this enhanced risk throughout many people. This is probably, if we have a moderate risk anytime this week, this is the best probability for it's going to be on Thursday if there's a best risk for moderate risk. But again, this is going to be affecting many areas that have seen very strong bands of the Easter outbreak and also that got affected really bad Sunday together, really. So again, including Atlanta, Georgia, Birmingham, parts of South Carolina, and again, much of Alabama and northern Georgia. You guys got hit very hard in the Easter outbreak, and it's very likely this enhanced risk will continue to move up. I'm right on the border with that enhanced risk and slight risk. I'm actually slightly in the slight, but very, very close in that enhanced risk. So once they update it, I'm very likely in that enhanced risk. So again, don't rule it out. We are still technically around 2 days away. So they have multiple updates to push this severe weather risk a lot higher. So again, areas like Atlanta, Birmingham, who got hit very hard on Easter, are now in its highest risk, and it's very likely they won't be too far from the moderate risk if it gets extended. And then, of course, the areas that got hit really hard on Sunday, like areas into the Panhandle, Florida, southern Mississippi, and also southern Alabama, like Montgomery, near Auburn. You guys got hit very hard, and you guys are also in the level 3. At least we don't have areas like Shreveport, Monroe, or even Hattiesburg in the worst risk. But again, areas like Hattiesburg, Meridian are still in the level 2 out of 3. So there's a second worst. So that's also not the positive. That's not the best. But again, at least as they're not in the worst risk. But again, the slight risk, again, we have that stretching from all the way from eastern Louisiana all the way up to the coastal areas of the barrier islands up there, North Carolina there. Again, including Wilmington, also including areas like Myrtle Beach, throughout much of northern South Carolina, much, again, far northeastern Georgia, much of northern and even western Alabama. That's stretching all the way up, again, into the southeastern part of Mississippi and eastern Louisiana, even all the way up into the areas of north central Florida. And then the enhanced risk, again, we have the highest risk for tornadoes, large hail, and also damaging winds. That's going to be including much of areas into north central Georgia, or really from Atlanta, just north of Atlanta, all the way to the border of Florida. Again, also including Tallahassee, much of the northern Florida area, including Big Bend and the Big Bend area, and also the Panhandle, the far eastern islands there of the far eastern islands of Louisiana, far southern Mississippi, and much of Alabama, and including some parts of South Carolina. Again, the probability for severe weather is up to a 30% chance, and again, a 30% chance means either a enhanced or a moderate. So again, very likely for that moderate. Now we're looking at the NAM3KM model here. Again, very strong bands developing again in the next couple coming hours. Again, very likely, again, very, very late in the day, or very, very late tonight, potential again for possibly seeing these supercells as we get into the as we look in the supercell composite parameter. You're going to be seeing those higher numbers where we see these bands. As we get later into tomorrow morning, though, these bands do worse with the overnight heating. Definitely going to hit Oklahoma City very hard. Very, very strong potential maybe supercell moving into the areas near straight over Dallas. Again, that's going to be moving straight over Dallas. Again, very strong bands moving just south of Oklahoma City, where we have that very big risk for the worst of it to be right here. So again, that is what we're looking at moving in into Wednesday. Again, very strong bands moving in into the southeastern part of Oklahoma, much of eastern, and have a new defined low pressure system. Continue to see these bands developing as far west as New Mexico, seeing even more bands into the northwestern part of Oklahoma developing, and then we're going to be seeing more and more severe weather again for that southeastern part of Oklahoma. It looks like they will get hit the hardest as well, including northern Texas as well. Very strong bands moving just north of Tulsa. Very strong bands again. Scattered thunderstorms moving once again back into Tulsa again. This is why we have the potential risk for the worst of severe weather out here into northeastern Texas and areas in Oklahoma. As we get into overnight hours here Wednesday night, these bands finally arrive into the western parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, having those scattered showers in Missouri and northern Arkansas. Here we have more bands now stretching all the way to Kansas. Very likely we can be seeing maybe a bit more of a slight risk movement pushing more into Kansas there. And this can bring very strong bands by late in Wednesday night. Scattered thunderstorms throughout areas into Arkansas. They could be quite severe. Not necessarily looking at a tornado threat for Arkansas, but again, still have to be on the lookout for potential large hail and damaging winds. As we now get into Thursday morning, we're going to have a very strong band. This is potentially a very large wall cloud formation. Definitely going to be seeing a chance of being multi-celled, moving into the again Louisiana areas near Shreveport. Now again, that got hit very hard in the past 2 weeks. Again, very strong bands again, continuing to see these multiple waves again. We're seeing multiple bands that could begin very small, but could begin to have multiple cells out there that could be quite strong. Could possibly seeing a threat for maybe seeing some tornadic thunderstorms there that could possibly bring in rotation there. And then as we continue to move on into now later Thursday, we're going to be seeing this huge threat moving into now Alabama and Mississippi. So again, now we're going to be seeing again these very strong bands once again moving these same areas that got affected in the Easter outbreak, such as again areas into southern Mississippi. Again, we have these slight risk here in these areas. Again, still going to be seeing very powerful bands again moving to southern Mississippi. Again, very strong bands as well moving to the northern Georgia area. And again, very, very powerful bands just south of Atlanta. That's where we possibly have that risk for seeing a moderate risk again. And they're going to be seeing even multiple more waves coming into Thursday in the night, early in the evening hours. Going to be seeing more and more waves developing here of strong linear lines that could possibly get very strong, and then definitely a very big threat for Thursday. It looks like Friday. It looks like Friday definitely has a big risk for possibly being an enhanced plus risk, because look at these bands on Friday. Powerful, possibly multiple possibly chances for tornadoes, very likely, and also supercells. Now we're looking at the European again the next couple hours. We're seeing these very strong bands again in western Oklahoma, northern Texas. Definitely gonna be seeing these orange and reds again. So we had that chance for supercells early tomorrow morning. Again, very good chance for seeing these supercells here. Could possibly see some hooks likely here, but again, too far to say that exactly for these bands. But again, continuing to move now into the areas into southeastern Oklahoma, seeing even more bands continuing to strengthen and continue to see more bands really starting to form into the Oklahoma area. We're going to be seeing scattered that throughout much of Wednesday there, and then we'll see these bands now moving a bit more now into the south central as we get closer to Wednesday night, very late Wednesday night into early tomorrow or Thursday morning. Again, now let's go ahead and check out that risk though for the southeast into Thursday. Again, definitely going to be seeing that threat again for eastern Texas as well. Oops, I did not mean to do that. For eastern Texas, again, those very strong bands moving into now late Wednesday, and then by early Thursday morning, we're seeing these stronger bands, multiple smaller pockets of bands throughout, just scattered throughout Arkansas. And then as we now move into around Thursday in the early afternoon, we will possibly see a very strong band moving through Mississippi with scattered thunderstorms before, so definitely causing that all-day threat really. And that's going to be moving very hard throughout northern Georgia and also south central Georgia as well. And going to be seeing these more and more bands going throughout areas into northern Georgia, which is why I think we should see that enhanced risk move a bit more to the north. Now looking at the SCP again. In the next coming hours by really early Wednesday morning with these same bands, we're going to be seeing up to 8 on this SCP here, which is quite high actually. Going to be seeing a very good chance for seeing some tornadoes out here. There's likely in the atmosphere here with atmospheric area. And then as we continue to go on into now Wednesday around 3 o'clock here, I believe this is Eastern time, 3 o'clock, so 2 o'clock Central time. going to be seeing up to a 9.4 in this SCP for Western Texas. We're going to be seeing these low pressure systems developing here throughout Wednesday, much of Wednesday. And then as these bands do move east, we're going to be seeing a big, these numbers for tornadoes. Really that risk for tornadoes is really getting a bit higher as it does now move into now, of course, northeastern Texas, and then also areas that can be seeing around a 5 to a 6 on the SCP, seeing up to around a 8, just not far from Fort Worth or Dallas. Again, going to be seeing not far from Dallas, going to be seeing up to a 10.7 near the Dallas area, again up to around a 7 as well. So this is why I'm saying just east of Dallas could be seeing a very possibly the worst of it, as we are going to be seeing very high risk for tornadoes. Just by the numbers here on the bar, again up to a 10.7, which is crazy there. Now we're looking at the SCP here. Again, it will start to diminish that threat for tornadoes as it does move into Louisiana and Mississippi, which is good, but it does get a lot higher as it moves into Alabama, up to a 10, almost a 10 out here into the western part of Alabama. Has been getting hit really hard in the past couple of days, and look at this right here, getting a 10. Up to a 10 now here to eastern Alabama as it does move into now Georgia. We see around in between a 7 to a 9 in other areas around Georgia, with these very, very good chances for, again, seeing tornadoes. Then it does diminish a little bit now, seeing only around a 6 as our maximum. And then again, definitely, again, really, really high numbers. So this is why we could possibly get this is why I think we could have a moderate risk be added throughout areas right here into the eastern parts of Alabama. This is where I think really a moderate risk should be added right here. I think let me possibly add it just right here. This is where I think a moderate risk should be added, and this is my reasoning. So hopefully or again, this is why I'm saying it's likely for a moderate risk, but again, this is why I'm saying it's possible, but it's not very likely. But again, it still looks like the chances for a moderate being added tomorrow are getting higher every single day. Now we're going to be quickly looking at the SPC here for a supercell composite parameter, seeing the percentage or the chance for risk for supercells. And again, by later tonight, again Tuesday, later tonight, we're going to be seeing up to around a 19. So like I said, as we get in the overnight hours, we're going to be seeing a very high risk for seeing supercells developing, now up to a 27.3 by early tomorrow morning. So very good chance for supercells into much of northern Texas here. Those numbers will diminish in the early morning hours, and then as you get closer now into around into now later in the morning, those again continue to diminish those chances there, but it does get a lot higher in the afternoon though. Going to see around a 19 here into not far from the Houston area. Very high numbers as well near the Dallas area, around a 10 or a 12. Near Dallas is a decent chance again. Also near Dallas, we're getting up to a 27 out there near Dallas. We can be climbing up to a 27. So this is why east of Dallas and just around Dallas we'll be seeing a very good risk. And not only that, we get up to a 36 not far from Dallas. A 36. That is a very, very high chance for seeing supercells throughout much of eastern Texas there, not far from Dallas whatsoever, just east of Dallas. So this is again why I think the areas near Dallas can be seeing close to a very good risk to possibly seeing the worst of it tomorrow. Again, other areas surrounding that could be seeing around mainly a 12 to around a 16 on the SCP, and see that very high risk into early Thursday morning around 2 a.m. We're going to be seeing again up to 18 throughout much of central Louisiana. Again, that probability does go down a lot as we get now to Thursday in the late morning hours, but again does go up a little bit into the Thursday early afternoon hours. Then it starts to go up once again with the overday heating, all the moisture coming in. So again, by later in the afternoon, around 1 o'clock, this does go up once again up to a 17 here on the SCP throughout areas into southern, southwestern Alabama, also including areas near the Meridian area, which is not good whatsoever. We do not need those exact areas to be in the around 17. And look at this here. Look at this. This is a major update, up to a 37.9. Look how widespread this is. This is a huge chance for seeing supercell development across the southeast, much of southern Alabama near Montgomery, and also the Columbus area, LaGrange. This is a huge update. This is actually just major, and that's going to go all the way into the South Carolina area with up to a 14 to a 16, seeing scattered areas around a 19 here, continuing into Georgia. That is just a major update here. That's actually just crazy. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, Hope you guys are continue to subscribe, and see you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's videos.